All right, guys. So just like yesterday, we're going to go over the homework answers and give my video a like and a subscribe if you want. So first of all, mass divided by volume, that's density. All right, mass divided by volume, we did that early in the year. We can use density to identify a mineral. Next, the mark left behind when a mineral is rubbed on a plate, streak, the streak test. We'll do that in class today. The way a mineral splits along certain lines of weakness is cleavage. All right, so when you see that it says breaks along certain lines of weakness, that's cleavage. Reflecting light, metallic or non-metallic, that's luster. The way a mineral breaks, just like if you break your arm, a fracture. Rated on the Mohs scale, the hardness of a mineral. And then lastly, red, yellow, any color, that is obviously color. So here are your answers for slide number 1, these new words we've been talking about with minerals. Slide number 2, you could have done it one of two ways. You could have pressed this link, went to the website, or you could have used our new properties of minerals table. First question, comparing the color of feldspar to sulfur. It came right from your table. You could have said that feldspar was orange, pink, white, or gray. If you said one of those, that's fine. Don't waste time adding the other ones. And sulfur is always yellow. For number 2, it wants you to compare the luster of graphite and fluorite. Graphite is metallic. Fluorite, you could have said is translucent or non-metallic. Either of those is fine. And then lastly, question number 3, we're not going to go over here, but you should have picked 5 minerals and put them in order from softest to hardest based on their hardness number on the table or from the website. Now, the last thing we're going to do is go over the questions on slides 4 and 5. You had to use your properties of common minerals table to do this. And if you need me to explain any of these extra in class today before we do our lab, make sure you let me know. So for question number 1, answer was should be pyrite. That's in the wrong spot. So the answer is pyrite. So for question 1, your answer is pyrite. Question 2, graphite and talc. Question 3, drywall panels. Question 4, magnetite. And question 5, calcite, but not olivine. For the last slide, you have 2 multiple choice questions. This apparently confused a bunch of you, but the question was under the table for this first question and under the Mohs hardness scale for the second question. For the first question, it said which 2 mineral samples would be most difficult to distinguish from each other based on their color, luster, and streak. You should have looked at the table and noticed that halite and quartz were very similar in their characteristics. So that was your answer. The only thing that really differentiated them was their breakage pattern. Halite broke into cubes, quartz broke into a regular breakage. The last question, it was a hardness question. It wanted to know which of the 4 statements was supported by the scale. The answer was 3. A piece of glass can be scratched by quartz, but not by calcite. A piece of glass has a hardness of 5.5. Quartz would scratch it because it has a hardness of 7. And calcite would not because it has a hardness of 3.